Soon, a new hotel and casino will be built in Kern County, expecting a rockin' good time. President Trump's trip to England continues to be marred with protests, and today's the day to give the gift of life. This is 17 News at noon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. We begin with a big name with worldwide recognition set to come to Kern County. Hard Rock International announced today it's planning to build a hotel and casino just south of Bakersfield. The 360-acre property is located about 14 miles south of Bakersfield between I-5 and the 99 after the split. That's about a 30-minute drive from downtown Bakersfield. The casino would be as big as a Costco store. The hotel would have 400 rooms, making it the largest in Kern County. The facility would also include a spa and fitness center, resort-style pool, and more than a dozen restaurants and bars. It would also serve as an entertainment venue. Although there's no set date for construction, county sources say the project will bring $600 million to the county if approved. The project is set to bring 1,000 construction jobs and another 2,000 permanent jobs with an annual payroll of $59 million. Tonight on 17 News at 5, Alex Fisher will have more on this big project and what it means for Kern County. Bakersfield police are asking for the community's help finding a missing 12-year-old. BPD says Anthony Joseph Barreras was last seen yesterday around noon near his home on Dunsmuir Road. That's behind the Four Points Sheraton Hotel off California Avenue. He was wearing a black short-sleeve T-shirt with Thrasher printed on the front. If you know where he might be, call police at 327-7111. The County Department of Human Services building is closed for the day in downtown Bakersfield after a suspected burglar was found in a crawl space in the ceiling. The building on East California Avenue was evacuated, and Bakersfield police were called out to the scene around 8 a.m. Officers convinced the man to leave the crawl space, and he was taken into custody. Employees were let back inside around 9 a.m. Then shortly after, another evacuation happened when police were called back out to check on another area. The search is ongoing and the building is closed for the rest of the day. So far, no other suspects have been found and there have been no injuries. There are several other DHS offices in Kern County in Delano, Lake Isabella, Lamont, Mojave, Ridgecrest, Shafter, and Taft, and they are all still open today. World news now. On the second day of his state visit to Britain, President Trump talked about trade, security, and other issues with outgoing Prime Minister Theresa May. As the two leaders met, thousands of protesters took to the streets of London in opposition to President Trump and his policies. NBC's Jay Gray reports from London.
Thousands spilling into the streets of London, protests and politics replacing the pageantry of President Trump's arrival.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
As he joins Prime Minister Theresa May and his daughter and advisor Ivanka for a roundtable business discussion.
But I think we'll have a very, very substantial trade deal.
Day two of his controversial state visit continuing at 10 Downing Street, the President and First Lady joining May and her husband Philip for a private lunch. Then, delegations from both countries sitting down as the President and outgoing Prime Minister hold what is very likely their last official meeting.
As the UK makes preparations to exit the European Union, the United States is committed to a phenomenal trade deal between the U.S. and the UK. There is tremendous potential in that trade deal.
It is this deep, special relationship and partnership between the United States and the United Kingdom that ensures our safety and security, and the safety and security of others around the world too.
The politics are much less civil as protesters march across central London, delivering a very different message to the visiting U.S. leader.
It's our democratic right to protest, and in fact many would say our duty when, again, our closest ally is espousing politics which is fundamentally damaging and divisive.
A duty that thousands are taking very seriously here. Jay Gray, NBC News, London.
Court watch now. His fate is now in the hands of a Kern County jury. Closing arguments wrapped up yesterday in a decades-old cold case murder trial. 61-year-old Prentice Foreman's accused of killing Don Coons back in 1979. But police didn't arrest Foreman until 2017, when investigators retested evidence from the crime scene and got a hit. Yesterday, defense attorney Dana Kinnison made the point to the jury that Foreman's DNA was detected at a scene because he had sex with Coons, not because he murdered her. Shafter may be the next police station adding our country's motto to their vehicles. Tonight, the City Council will hear the proposal from a group of pastors to add the decals. The meeting is set for 6 o'clock this evening at City Hall on Pacific Avenue. You may remember in April, the city of Delano voted to add similar decals to its police cruisers. Last month, Bakersfield city leaders also heard a similar proposal and plan to discuss it at a City Council meeting tomorrow evening. Welcome back. Checking Wall Street, and stocks are surging on this Tuesday. As of last check, the Dow was up 425 points so far in trading. The Nasdaq up 159 and the S&P 500 up 48. Oil prices are also up this afternoon. West Texas Intermediate selling for $61.94 a barrel, and Midway Sunset started the day at $60.25 a barrel. We'll have a check of the final numbers coming up today on 17 News at 5. Quest Diagnostics, a nationwide blood testing provider, says an unauthorized user gained access to millions of patient accounts. The user had access to 11.9 million patient accounts from April 1st, 2018 to March 30th, 2019. The breach includes access to credit card numbers, patient account information, medical data, and social security numbers. The company says the unidentified person had access to the systems of a billing collections vendor. American Medical Collection Agency, known as AMCA. Quest says it hasn't received detailed information yet on which patients were affected. In a statement, the company says it's taking this matter very seriously and is committed to the privacy and security of our patients' personal information. Cosmetics chain Sephora is closing all 400 of its U.S. stores Wednesday for diversity training. The inclusion workshops for all employees will also include Sephora's distribution centers and corporate offices. The move comes just over a month after a Grammy-nominated singer, SZA, said she was racially profiled at one of its California locations. She said an employee called security to make sure she wasn't shoplifting. Sephora apologized and said it's committed to ensuring that every member of the community feels welcome and included at its stores. New troubles for the aviation industry. The FAA is warning hundreds of Boeing 737 planes, both older versions and some of the grounded MAX fleet, may have faulty parts on their wings due to a manufacturing problem. NBC's Ann Thompson explains.
The latest headache for Boeing involves the slat tracks on the front of the wings of certain next-generation 737 and those grounded 737 MAX planes. The planes involved in 2 fatal crashes that killed 346 people in Ethiopia and Indonesia.
Even though this particular problem is not that major in terms of an unsafe condition, because it's happening in the wake of these 2 horrific accidents, that ramps up the hit that Boeing's going to take in its overall reputation.
The FAA warning the tracks which move the slats that assist in the plane's liftoff may have been improperly manufactured and could fail or crack, but wouldn't result in the loss of aircraft. The FAA says the airlines must inspect and remove the affected parts within 10 days. Boeing CEO Dennis Muhlenberg today on CNBC.
This particular issue around the slat tracks is a well understood one and one that we'll work our way through quickly. But it is something that we're going to stay very coordinated with our customers. We know it's important and we want to minimize the disruption to our customers.
The warning involves 312 planes, 65 in the U.S. Boeing says this issue is unrelated to the deadly crashes likely caused by the flawed anti-stall system. Ann Thompson, NBC News, New York.
Well, back here at home, we're learning more about the sale of a local family paper and what it could mean for news consumers here in Bakersfield. After being family-owned for 122 years, the Bakersfield Californian has been bought by Canadian publisher Stephen Malkowicz. The paper's previous owners say they have confidence in Malkowicz taking over, but the union representing the paper's staff is calling the now former owners cowardly for announcing the sale on a weekend without telling employees first. Late yesterday, Malkowicz released a statement that read in part, quote, "Rest assured that we are making the purchase of the Bakersfield Californian and ancillary publications with the intent to continue on the publishing of the daily newspaper in Kern County. The sale is expected to become final on June 30th. A popular chain restaurant's honoring nurses nationwide today, offering a buy one, get one free deal on lunch and dinner. Chipotle wants to thank nurses, so it's offering those with a valid nursing license or ID a free burrito, burrito bowl, salad, or order of tacos when they buy a meal of equal or lesser value. The promotion's happening at Chipotle locations across the country today, including those here in Kern County. Chipotle says because the company knows nurses have crazy schedules, the promotion's valid until they close tonight.